Y'all can picture Kim bobbing to this new song.
I'm doing it too. Hear me slapping my fingers? Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Thank you for joining us here on the Spyshack Podcast, the podcast where super fans get together to talk about the latest episode of Survivor. We want to welcome Mark back. It's been a while since we were able to see you. How are you doing today, Mark?
Hello, everybody. I'm great, and it's been a great few episodes for the past 3 weeks, and I'm so sorry I've been out, but I'm back. I'm ready to go. It's a very exciting episode to talk about.
Yes,
Survivor has
have you
kicked
back,
in.
Mark.
Yes. And right when it's starting to get really, really good. I mean, it's been a pretty good season so far. We were talking about it last week that over the last couple of seasons, there's been really just one tribe that gets just decimated, and it hasn't been as fun because of that. But this season, we've had a pretty even tribe dynamic.
Yeah, by luck or by might, like this season has been pretty even across the board, and we're gonna talk about some of those twists this week because I don't know how I feel about a post-merge split. And that's just something we're gonna talk about in detail in a little bit.
Yeah. So, yeah, a great, another great episode. To a great season. I'm thinking
terrific season. We're owed it. It's a last season.
and I'm thinking that one of my predictions is going to come true. I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks, well, at least for about a month. And I think it's going to come, and we'll talk about it here in a couple of minutes. But yeah, so if you are new to the show, we want to let you know that you can follow us every week to talk about and discuss Survivor. I would like you all to subscribe, to make sure you get the notifications. But let us know what you think about the episode and what we're talking about. Let us know if you agree with us or if you disagree with everything we're saying. It doesn't matter. We just want to talk. That's what the podcast is all about, is about talking about Survivor. Really, that's what we really want to do.
Yep.
All right. So before show spoilers, everyone, I mean, if you're watching this, you pretty much saw the episode, but still, initial thoughts of the episode.
It
was exciting.
Say this exciting, but
yeah,
I was definitely thrown off when they did the challenge so early. I said, are they doing a double eviction or something? Because why is this on already? So that threw me off because I'm losing my words, but do you understand what I'm saying? We started.
Yeah, normally it doesn't come out so. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It usually only comes out this early if there's going to be a reward and an immunity challenge. Not usually this way, but we saw the reasoning why they did the challenge so early. Maybe nothing happened before that, and it was going to be nothing to show us anyway. So might as well just jump right into the challenge.
Mm-hmm. And everything happened at Tribal anyway. So
yeah. So this episode, we are recapping episode 7, our Pickle on Blast, the official merge boot now, right? Because this is actually technically the original official merge now. So that's why I don't get
last week. There's a gray area.
That's what I'm saying.
I was super confused because I thought Rome was it, and then following Rome's eviction, it was the merge. So when they started with the immunity, and then Probes was like, "Yo, this isn't the merge again," I was like, "Huh?"
Well, no, I mean technically they're already merged after Rome, but they still did this whole thing that we've been doing at the merge for the last couple of seasons, where they still split them, and then one of the teams is the only one that goes into tribal council. Which, yeah, I'm not sure I like this particular setup. After the initial,
I'm gonna give Rome credit.
Boots,
I'm gonna give Rome credit and say he's the merge boot, just because the round played out like a merge. So,
give him something.
Gets on my nerves. Yeah, give him something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and we'll talk about another thing that really people don't know how to really, I guess, credit people this episode or because of the twist and so forth. But once we get to the immunity challenge, we see that like once again they're going to be split into teams. Only one of the teams is going to be available for being voted off. Not only that, the team that loses is the only team that's going to be voting. The other team is automatically immune, but don't have to vote. I don't know. I don't know what how I feel about this because it just if this is already a merge, already tribe, then everybody should be voting. And by removing half of them, not only that, rewarding the immunity necklace to someone that was on the losing team, and them being the official winner of the immunity idol, kind of rubs me the wrong way because technically, Teeny and what's her name, Jeannie, should have been the ones competing for the idol. So it's just really weird, and I have seen other people commenting about that. So we're not the only ones that kind of like. I think if it would have been a different mechanic, people wouldn't have been as upset at how this all played out. People are still liking the episodes, but I know it
was good TV, but yeah, but the technicalities just aren't adding up just as a merge episode, you know.
And I have a thought on when they went to the reward, right? Do you think that the reward at the reward, what is it called? I'm so bad with remembering things. Andy found it. The
not the
what did he find?
Advantage. The advantage.
Okay.
The advantage. The advantage that Saul found.
Chose that advantage purposely because how the split went, right? So we had that split where, what was it? Rachel was the only one out of the five, right? So she was sure to leave, right? So knowing that one of the other ones was going to find that advantage, they had to know this was going to Rachel. And maybe the original advantage was you can just steal a vote.
I don't know. They planted it right next to Saul, but I mean, it does look a little fishy.
Not for him to find, just the idea that was that the original advantage to begin with, or did they change
but it I mean,
when they realized the dynamics of the group?
You never know what Andy would have done with it because Andy was already ready to throw all Gata in. So would he have even given it to Rachel? So, you know, Andy being that kind of hectic player that we talked about with Rome, they're both hectic players, but they're both hectic in a different way.
I mean, did Andy have a connection with Tiyana to have him save Tiyana instead? Because that could have changed. That could have swung things in a totally different way.
Yeah, and let's just go ahead and jump into that, right? Let's go ahead and jump into what happened, right? Soul almost misses the what's it called? Advantage.
The advantage.
It was sitting right next to him for he said what, for an hour he was sitting right next to him,
right behind him.
Yeah. We've seen that happen in previous seasons. It's just that this particular time, no one really bothered to look around him.
Andy was looking hard. Andy wanted to find that advantage.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that Soul found it, and I'm actually glad of how it played out. But the only thing that I don't know about is how it played out because. I'm happy it played out the way, but I'm not happy the way it played out. Does that make sense? Because of the whole split tribe. Because of the whole split tribe. And I think that's what really is rubbing some people the wrong way is the split tribe. I think that the same thing could have happened with the whole tribe there, the whole tribe talking about it, and maybe Soul would have been able to given her directly beforehand and actually provided a game plan to maybe even get Gabe out instead of Tiyana.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a merged tribe. Everyone should be voting. At least everyone who has a vote should be voting.
Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, because what did we say when Tiyana first went to tribal council? She made a mistake by I forgot his name. The I just know him by the football guy. Um,
Sam,
her team.
Sam.
No. The
Kyle.
person on her team, the person on her team that she ended up betraying. Um, oh my god, I forgot his name.
Gabe.
No. The one that
Is
got
he
voted
still
out
there?
first. No, he got voted out.
Sean.
TK.
TK. There you go.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
TK's been
he
gone a bit.
he was the second person voted out, and I can't remember his name.
That was
But
500 years ago. My gosh.
yeah,
I know.
but the thing is, if she would have stuck with him and possibly been able to get out soon, I honestly feel like she would still be there, and she would have actually been a lot better set up to continue in this game. But
Would have been
because she
totally
did
different
end
game.
up, because she did decide to take things personally because of what he said, now she's out of the game. I know it's a whole 2020 hindsight kind of thing, but I mean, it's kind of
Well, you
it's a
can't
what
play
if.
Survivor with. You really got to try to take personal emotions out when you play this game.
Hmm.
Oh, I need
I
to
mean,
say
look,
something funny real quick about Sue. My friend calls me. She's a huge Survivor fan. And she makes a joke. She doesn't know we joke about Sue's age. She goes, "What is Sue, this 122-year-old woman, lying about her age for?"
I mean, we've said it. It's not bad that she's her age. It's that we don't get why she's lying about it. We don't see an
Yeah.
advantage
She
of her
doesn't even
lying
look
about her
55.
age.
That's the thing
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. So, I mean, and she does so great for 55. So she should be owning it
she.
and saying, "I'm 55 and I almost beat Kyle. I'm
Yeah.
55."
And this is Survivor. This is not the circle. You can't catfish people by telling people you're 45. You know what I'm saying? It's insane because people we see right through it. I mean,
And I
Well,
mean,
that,
no
and she
offense to
must
Sue.
not be
No offense to
also
Sue.
a super fan because they don't vote old people out in the beginning. I mean,
No, they
it
don't.
doesn't
Not
happen. I
anymore.
don't. It's not Big Brother. You know what I
well, I
mean?
mean, it used to happen when there were a vulnerability to the tribe, right? If you're the reason why they're always losing.
Because when they were
Now though, it's
casting
very rare.
65-year-old people that were barely
Sue,
able to do anything.
yeah, but Sue herself is a really strong player, like strong physically. So there
Yeah.
were there was no reason for them to vote her out early on, even though
She
they,
lies
they
to
all threatened
all
to.
of them. She lies so much about her age that my friend brought it up. She goes, she lies all the time. Hi, I'm
And like I
Sam,
said, it's
45.
the whole thing. The only thing that we make fun of is that we don't see the upside of lying about your
No,
Yeah.
age,
there's no
especially
reason.
specifically
There's a
for her.
big
Specifically for her.
downside because
Yeah.
it's just obvious she's lying. And if she's lying about something like her age, then what else would she lie about? Because there's just no reason to lie about in the game. And now, also, let's go back to Tiyana. One of the people that knew that Sue had the idol is now gone. So only Caroline, who I don't like, has the idol. If she would have just kept her mouth quiet, Gabe would be gone. But she had to control it. Caroline is not a girl's girl, and she's definitely not taking a girl to the final.
No, I don't think she. Well, she might take Sue, but
Oh, because
that's
anyone
probably the
can.
only one.
But here's the thing: I don't think everyone could beat Sue in the final, even though she's
No, I don't think
messy.
everyone can.
She can come across. She found that idol. She's won challenges. She's definitely swayed votes. So they need to
Yeah.
get you out.
Especially
The thing
Caroline, because
is,
right now we don't see a whole lot of her like actively playing the game. Especially for people within the game, they don't really think that she's in control. So for her to take somebody else who is swinging people, who is in major alliances, like that's just not good for her end game.
Sue would have been out
now,
with me last night because I knew she had that idol, and two of them knew. They should have blindsided her and taken out that idol.
now the I'll give credit to Caroline or Caroline. I'm not sure how to say the name, but I'll give her credit that she was able to talk Tiana out of the plan to help Rachel. And if it not because of the twist, most likely Rachel would have been the one going home, and Tiana
Yes.
stays for at least another episode. So there is some credit you need to give Caroline because she was able
Oh,
to redirect the vote
she did. She's a
for a
good
second.
player. I just don't want her to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I give her credit. You have to understand, like, I value good plays, right?
Yeah.
She controlled that game. And not only did Gabe stay, the one that thought about flipping the whole thing is gone, Tiyana. So, yes, Caroline outplayed her. And that stinks because I like Tiyana more than Caroline. I don't know what it is about
I
her.
liked. I did like her more, but I think that she messed up her own game from the very beginning with TK going home by voting him.
that was her downfall. You have to take personal out. You want to win the game. Who cares?
So now there is the critique that we have seen online, right, about this whole twist.
Mm-hmm.
The twist being Soul found the advantage that he was allowed to provide to anybody on the losing team, that they had the ability to, what was it, steal a vote or safety without
power.
Yeah, which is, I believe it's only the second time we've seen, right? Jeremy had it in Winners at War, and both times they walked out. Both times they changed the whole dynamic of that tribal. But I would have done the same thing if I was her. With Soul, I don't think Soul had any indication that, well, they made it try to seem that he might have not given it to her. He might have given it to Caroline instead. I don't think he was. There was no way that he was going to keep it to anyone else other than Rachel. That is where some of the whole thing comes into play. Like, I wouldn't have minded this as much again if the whole. I know it's random. I know it's a random pick. They say it's a random pick. I want to go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt that it was random, but because of the randomness of the draw, it created this kind of whole tribe with one person, and because of that, this whole vote and tribal council ended up happening. Criticism that's happening right now is that there's way too many what's it called, advantages, way too many twists happening on way too soon, or way too
late in the game,
too often.
Too often. Okay.
I think it's too often. Yeah. See, like last season, we had no idle play. Did we even have an advantage? I think maybe one advantage that maybe popped up. But the thing is that no one used them, or they went home, or everyone who had an idol went home. But that ended up being a boring season. So I don't know how this season would be looked at as much if, once again, if no idle plays happened, if no advantages were played. How would this season be affected that way? And that's always gonna be the thing that I'm gonna say. I get that people, and as viewers, we want to kind of keep Survivor back to its roots, but after 47 seasons, if it never changed, I think it would have been canceled a long time ago.
Yeah.
No,
it doesn't mean we have to like this twist though.
No, I don't like. I really prefer, go back to the two tribes and all that nice fun stuff. It doesn't look like we're gonna get what's it called this year? An auction.
See ya. No, it is. We are gonna have an auction this year.
Oh, we are having an auction.
Yeah, next week.
Oh, you know what? I didn't watch the commercial. I didn't watch the previews. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I shut it off. I was tired. I said, "Screw it. That's it," and I didn't see it.
I forgot the last time they did the auction. What was the setup? Because I get why they stopped doing the auction.
You can't get a reward anymore. Like, there's no benefit.
It looks like they're still doing,
I like that.
A scavenger hunt for the money.
Saves.
Yeah,
I prefer
the most money left. And you get no vote or something.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did like that. You
lose your vote
because then everyone was just waiting till the very end. So people were really just hoping to wait for something to the end. Everyone was waiting. So we had heard back in the previous seasons where players were saying if you, and no one was actually bidding for these things for the or for the items, that Jeff would get upset and just stop the auction there and stop it early. So what happened after what was it, season 30 is when I think it started happening, where everybody just started waiting to the very end and waiting for an advantage. So I'm glad that the auction's back, but I'm glad that also that they're doing this whole twist to it, and I'm hoping that they do
Yeah.
it this season. That if you have the most money, you lose your vote or you get something a penalty.
Hmm.
Yes, I like that too. And I like that there's no more reward because it's pointless. Because it was just everybody saved up for it. Then there was no one was bidding on anything anymore.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
without
True.
taking that out is fun. I hate when people get gross.
That's the one twist I like that they did like in the recent years. The twist to the auction, retooling it, and
Yes.
whether it's losing a vote or having a penalty vote, I think having higher stakes for participating in the auction, I think that'll help in future seasons as well.
Yeah, or even if it's something that you buy and it's kicks you out of the auction, the very first person, like they did with Will and when was it? The one about the no collar, blue collar, white collar, or whatever it was.
Will
Where
and Jeffra? I don't
I think it was
remember.
only
What
Will
was
that
the
got kicked out.
nerdy kid, right?
Yeah.
The young nerdy kid?
No, Will was no. This was in Survivor 31 or 30, where
Oh gosh.
yeah, where he was the one that was picking on Shireen, and his thing was that he got kicked out of the auction, but I think he ended up finding some food underneath the. It gave him some food out there, so there was a punishment and a reward kind of thing, and then he ended up giving just eating it all himself, I believe. But yeah, going back to this season, um, do you all think that Tiana could have done anything at all to change any votes? I think as soon
I
as
don't
she
know. I thought she could have. I mean, to me, as soon as Kyle said, when she said it's going to be Gabe, right? And then Kyle wouldn't give her a straight answer, that's when I would have left Kyle and I would have tried to figure out something else. Because when he wouldn't answer her and he's like, we have to talk to Carolyn, I'm like, woman, you're going home. You better figure something out because he's not telling you yes.
I think he knew that the three Gabe, Sue, and Caroline were not gonna vote his way. So if any of those three were gonna switch their vote, it was gonna be Carolyn. So him going to talk to Carolyn to see if he can convince her to change the vote, then he would have voted Gabe out. But since it looked like Carolyn stood her ground, there was no reason for him to cast the vote on Gabe because then
And,
guess
and
what? Now
Carolyn made the better move. Listen, getting
she did.
Tiana out over Gabe is the right move. It wasn't the move I wanted,
Yeah,
but the right move nonetheless. I mean, you have to play this game. And I want to go back to someone. Genevieve, who had she pulled in now? What crazy person?
Andy.
Andy, right. She went from
Hmm.
Rome to Andy because she likes to control these players. At least she thinks she can, right? Because if you look who
I
she's going after,
I think
she's
she's a
going
better player
after.
than we were giving her credit for.
I think so too. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah,
That's probably why isn't she like a corporate lawyer or something?
I forgot what
Probably.
she is, but like I said before, yes, Andy is chaotic. What was upsetting me about the way he was playing and the mistakes he was doing is that I felt like he actually did have a base to play. I think he actually could play if he would just calm down and not be so erratic. And I think we've seen him have glimpses of that. And once again, like I said before, Sam keeping him is going to be his downfall. I feel like
Oh
and we've already started seeing glimpses of it. Like I said, he's going to be the one that takes Sam out. Unfortunately, because I like Sam.
yeah, I
Yeah.
told you. Pre Survivor, Sam annoyed me in his confessional. I'm like, I'm not gonna like this guy. This guy thinks, he's all that in a bag of chips. And I was like, oh no, he is all that in a bag of chips. That's exactly how he plays this game, right? Except for he's making the mistakes with Andy. He shouldn't have been so willing to give Andy up, even though he was. He should have played it off. Like, I don't want Andy, but if this is what it has to be, let me at least try to talk to him. So then he can play that off.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think the women are going to come together. It's just, I don't know if Caroline or Sue will. There's something about
Do we think
Sue.
that? Yeah.
I'm not crazy, and I think she's going to go for her.
Yeah. Do we think Rachel had a choice between the two options? I didn't really think there was a choice, was there?
I think there was. I'm not sure. I thought Saul had the choice. He decided what he was going to do.
He decided to give it to Rachel, but once Rachel had it, the only way for her to be safe in that tribal was safety without power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the note said that she had just to read it. I don't think she had to read what I mean. She had to read like from the two options. You choose it, and when you tell Jeff that you have that advantage, you tell him which one you're choosing. Because when Soul did have the advantage and he was showing it, he showed it to the camera, and you can see it that there was the two options. I don't think he's the one that chose it for her.
No,
although I don't think
other people would have chose differently. What would Kyle have chosen, or Sue? Caroline? What would they have chosen if he?
The other option was steal a vote, right?
Yeah. So what would they have chosen? This vote?
Well,
they would have stolen Rachel's vote.
Well, I don't know. Well, see, Rachel, Kyle, and if they stole, let's say, Gabe's vote, they could have gotten Sue or Gabe out. And all they had to do, and all they had to do is tell Tiyana, hey Tiyana, we have this option. Make sure to go with us. And now you have Gabe or you have Sue out. I think the correct option should have been Gabe to go out, because the way he has been playing, and I think he is the bigger threat because he's the one that's shown to be more devious. Sue is probably a threat, not because she's devious, she's a little messy, like we talked about, but I think that you have a better chance of beating her than you do beating Gabe. Although she did outlast Gabe, I think, both times.
She did. She's not bad. She's kind of jacked and everything.
Let's see. So, what do y'all think is going to happen going from here on?
I don't. That was a big power play from Saul, and I think if Saul can get his numbers together, I think he can go pretty far. The connections he has are pretty strong right now within the Lava group. Yeah, and if you can just pull out a person from Tuku and a person from Gata, then I think Saul could go at least to top 6 or 5. So it's looking out for him.
I have 3 favorites so far. It's Saul, Kyle, and Teeny. And
I do like Teeny. We haven't really talked. I think Teeny will go a little bit further because we're not getting a big edit, but
unless she sticks out next week.
She's going right. If she sits out next week, she's going home. But if she doesn't, then she's right there.
I'm glad that after 3 episodes of not really seeing Saul at all, that we've had a spike in his visibility, that to the point to where were they hiding him early on, and he might actually end up going really, really far in the game.
No, because somebody was taking up all the airtime.
Yeah. Well,
all of
There was
it.
at least one person in every tribe that was really like being really flashy with their
They're
moves or
aggressive.
flashy with what they're doing.
Like
So
I don't know if he was just too much of a fan, or is he trying to was Rome trying to play it like a feeder to another show? I don't know if that's part
I
of his
think
thinking.
I think is what I had said that
You're right. He
first week or
said
second
it
week.
in an interview that he started watching Survivor like a few years ago. That was it. And then maybe during COVID, I don't know. Then he watched every season, and now he's a super fan. Or did he
Yeah,
say it during Tribal?
no, no. I think that was
Preseason.
outside of the game. Yeah, preseason or outside of the game kind of thing. Where he said that, and that's fine. I don't think that to be a super fan you had to been there since the very beginning. You can very much become a super fan. You can be a super fan starting after this game, and all of a sudden just go back and watch them all in a week. But
Yep.
that is possible. But at the same time, you got to remember though that if you come in with wanting to make your move or make the splash, very often it backfires. You have to be a little bit less flashy with the moves that you do, so that
Yeah,
you're not
like
upsetting people.
Teeny and some of these who's just going with the motions. Caroline, who really is not flashy. Yes, she saved
Or even
Gabe,
Genie.
but yeah, we
Yeah.
got good. The women, there's a lot of good players this season. I do feel like we got a few. I can't say who's gonna win or lose.
As
Do we
I don't
think
think Andy.
this? Do we think this girls' alliance is gonna happen?
no, no, not with Caroline and Sue. No. Um,
No, no, it
Okay.
as
can't go.
soon as soon as Teeny said that that she would love a women's alliance, I told my wife it's not gonna happen. They always end up backstabbing each other. Um,
Yeah,
it's
Caroline
only
was
happened
quick to
once,
get rid of it.
and she got rid of a woman. Yeah. Um, I mean, for whatever reason, it's only happened what once, and the
Jealousy.
one time before
Twice.
that, well,
Yeah.
the like it happened in Vanuatu. It started in Vanuatu, and then it didn't stick, right? And then in Micronesia, that's the one that we really saw, where we saw the Black
The
Widows
Black Brigade.
brigade, yeah,
Yeah. Black Widow. Yeah.
where they just decimated everybody, and that's the really only successful
But
woman
look at
alliance
the
that's pretty
type
much
of
stuck together.
look at the
One
type
Yeah,
World
of
kind of had
women
it.
they were though. They were
yeah.
strong leaders, independent. They were really just. I thought that in Caroline a bit, but no, Sue isn't that type. Sue's not a girl's girl at all. Uh,
I
Teeny and Tiyana would have been those girls that would have definitely held court, but I just not with Sue. Definitely, I don't think Sue's loyal to anybody.
I think she's only loyal to Kyle. I mean, not to Kyle, to Gabe and to Caroline.
Because
Those
they
three.
keep
Really?
on giving her things she wants. She gets what she wants out of them.
Well,
I
yeah,
just
she's
don't think she's
protected with
very
them.
good. She is. I mean, she's not bad, but that whole idol thing was sloppy. So, and I
Yeah,
have a question. There's no idol out there, right?
she still has it.
Right, because who said they were going to look for an idol that's not there?
Soul.
Yeah, I was like, there's no idol out there.
Um, yeah, no, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think they would hide another one because she still has hers,
She does, and
especially
here's the
after.
thing: if Sue is a better player, she's going to get rid of the only person who she has that idol. That's Carolyn. You know, and then nobody knows
I
she
think
has.
they're sticking together. I think they're sticking together unless someone betrays the other and then they find out. There's no way that they're not making it. They're not going to try to make it all the way together. And
Great.
we've seen a strong trio is very hard to break if they really stick together. It's really hard to break in the last couple of seasons. Now it's a little bit different because the trios that have made it to the end in the last couple of seasons have come from the decimated tribe, and in this particular case, they came from the strongest tribe. So I don't know if that's actually gonna work or not this time around. But if it does, I mean, more power to them, I guess. But I'm hoping that Kyle can break him up. I'm hoping that Soul can get enough people around him to the was I say the Tuku 3 because I don't think Kyle was part of that. I don't think he's really going to be in their side if they decide to take someone else out. I'm hoping that he can find somebody to join.
You reminded me of something. Wait, please. Did you watch some of Rome's exit interviews?
Mm-mm.
So he said something in one of them, in referencing to that Kyle said something really bad about Sue and Carolyn. And then
Don't know
who
what
said
that
this?
was.
Rome said
Rome.
it, and it didn't make
He
the
said it in
I don't
multiple
believe anything that Rome
interviews.
says.
Yeah,
I don't believe it
everybody
either.
knows it, but I'm just like, what could he have said that was so offensive that Caroline and Sue still decided, even though Kyle said this horrible, offensive thing, forget about it. We're never going to talk about it, and we're just going to vote out Rome.
Yeah, and even if he did say it, I don't think they believe him. They don't believe Rome, and they rather believe Kyle. And I don't know. I don't think just based on what we've seen, Kyle doesn't seem like someone who would say something like that. We don't. Hopefully, we're hoping that he's not.
I would hope so, but also here's one thing about probes. Don't ever call probes like a liar or survivor. So if now Rome is saying he said this, but it didn't make the edit, right? None of it made the edit. Not when Kyle said it, and not when he told the people. So.
Ron better be careful because he wants to be invited back, and if he is saying something that is not true, that does upset.
Right.
Probst is not going to bring him back.
No, because one thing Probst will do is call him out in front of everybody, like he did Dan that one time.
Yep. But I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it there. I'm happy with this season. I'm hoping that we really take off from here. Everyone from now on will make the merge. The one thing that I did find interesting though is that this season the people getting voted out are taking this way more personal than they have in previous seasons, which had been a while. Everyone had been like, yeah, you got me, whatever.
Yeah, but
I feel like this season
we have bitter jury after bitter jury. Look at last season, bitter jury. She didn't deserve to win. I can't remember her name. Kenzie. No,
but either way, I think I don't know. It's just something that I noticed.
Yes, I mean they're crying. These people, they're devastated.
Yeah,
because they care.
But they do care.
Because they care.
And so let's see what happens next week. I'm hoping the people that I like continue to work together or at least work together and continue to make it far. But we'll discuss that next time when we come back for Survivor 47 episode 8.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember, guys, to subscribe, and we'll see you all next week here on the Spyshack Podcast. Oh yeah, stick around if you want to hear us talk about the challenge. We'll be going live in about 15-20 minutes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.